Okay, so I wanted to talk about the role that size plays in a fight, because there's a lot of big guys they'll go to the gym, they'll put on a bunch of size, and because of this, they literally think they're like the Hulk, that they're invincible, and that they could just walk through another guy just because he's bigger than that guy. So I wanted to talk about the role that size plays in a fight and whether it actually matters. Does size matter in a fight? Absolutely not. If you don't believe me, watch WWE, WrestleMania 24, when Mayweather knocks out the Big Show. To hell with the talkings. But jokes aside, size does matter. It does matter. And I say this because there are people on the other end of the spectrum where they'll say something like, size doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter about size. There's that quote, it goes something like, it doesn't matter about the size of the dog in the fight. It matters about the size of the dog I don't know. I can't remember the quote, something like that. But they'll tell you size plays no role in a fight. And that's not true. Size does play a factor. There are weight classes for a reason. If you take two guys, they have similar skill levels. They have similar level of conditioning. They have similar levels of training and experience. The bigger guy is going to win. So size plays a role for sure, but it's one factor. There are other factors that are way more important than size. For example, the number one that comes to my mind is skill level. I don't care if you're 230 pounds. This is the most important thing, is skill. You could be 230 pounds, going to the gym all the time with a bunch of muscle. You can bench press big weight. If you're not trained and you go up against somebody that's even 60 pounds lighter than you, and that guy is trained, he has a few amateur fights, you have no boxing, you have no wrestling, you have no jiu-jitsu experience, and you go up against a guy that's 170 pounds with a bunch of training and even a few fights, amateur fights, not even professional, just amateur. That 170 pound guy is going to, I promise you, he's going to slap the dog shit out of you. And there's nothing that your heavy bench pressing will be able to do to save you. Another important factor is experience. Listen, you can hit the heavy bag all you want and smash it up with some combinations. You might even look good doing it for your Instagram profile and whatever. But the heavy bag doesn't hit back. Fighting somebody else that's trying to hit you too, that's something different. And if you don't have a lot of experience doing this, fighting somebody else, and you're taking strikes from them, what'll happen to you when you get into a real fight? One, you'll flinch a lot. You'll flinch and blink whenever someone throws a punch at you. That's one. Two, is you'll start to tense up in a real fight. You'll start to get really tense instead of being loose and relaxed. And what'll start to happen when you tense up is, one, your punches will be a lot slower. Your punches will be a lot slower. They're not going to have that quick snap to them. They're not going to be fast and powerful. You're going to lose power too when you don't have that snap in your punches. And also, when you're tense and you're not loose and relaxed because of that lack of experience, is you'll start to get tired way faster. You get tired way quicker. You gas out a lot quicker when you're tense. This is why, and I've seen this before too, I've seen guys that are very athletic, do a lot of road work, they've played football growing up, really good cardio. They have really good cardio, but when they're in the boxing gym, they'll spar for a round, one round, and that's it. They gas out after that. And I've seen this multiple times. So this is what a lack of experience will do. You start to tense up and you start to gas out. Which brings me to a third factor, is conditioning. That's another really important factor. A lot of big guys you see don't have good cardio. A lot of the guys that you see that are 220 pounds, they're big guys, 220 pounds, they're actually 180 pounds, just with a bunch of fat on them. And even the guys that have little fat, they're all muscle with little fats. Even those guys don't have good cardio. And cardio is important. It is crucial for fighting, I'm telling you. If you don't have good conditioning, you're just all size and you have no conditioning, what'll happen to you in a fight is you'll fight for 15, 30 seconds, and that's it. Then you're going to gas out. And once you gas out, you are going to get stomped by a 150-pound fighting nerd that still picks his nose and cries to his mommy. He's going to do whatever he wants with you, and he's just going to bully you. It's going to be a long night for you. Another factor that popped up in my mind is aggression. Now, the guys that train in combat sports, you'll know what I'm talking about here, but something I've experienced in fight gyms is I've met guys that, yeah, they're big, they have a bunch of muscle, they have good conditioning, they train in combat sports all the time, they know the technique and whatever, but they don't have that aggression in them. They don't have that spirit in them. They don't have that dog in them. And because of that, they don't fight as well as they should. So I've experienced, for example, I've met guys that they've been in jiu-jitsu or kickboxing for a year, sometimes even over a year. But when they go and compete, they just don't perform that well. And I've seen cases where a guy will be in, I don't know, boxing or jiu-jitsu for a year. He goes and competes, and he literally just gets walked all over on. He just gets bullied. And it's because they just, like I said, they lack that aggression. They don't have that aggression to bring out during competition to help them out. So they end up just performing poorly and fighting poorly. And that's just another factor that'll come into play. Just because you're a big guy, if you don't have that aggression, you're not going to fight as well as you should. Now, I'm not saying to be an aggressive person. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm not advocating that. Don't go around being aggressive with people, being violent with people, bullying people. Don't do that. Be respectful to people, but have that controlled aggression in you that you can bring out during competition or self-defense cases when you got to protect yourself and your loved ones. So those are some factors that come into my mind. These literally just, there's probably more factors that I just don't remember right now. These are the ones that come to my mind. But like I said, experience, conditioning, skill, aggression, controlled aggression, these are really important when it comes to a fight, especially skill. That's the most important thing. Now, like I said, I'm not saying size doesn't matter. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying to not build muscle, to not go to the gym and work out and all that. Definitely do that. But don't get this idea that you can just go to the gym, become big, and that's it. You'll be untouchable. Because I'm telling you, you're going to end up messing with somebody because you just get so arrogant. Your ego goes through the roof because of your size, and you end up getting a good dose of reality.